Hello everyone, I'm Hemant Kumar and you're watching Talking Movies with iDream. Our guest today is Hebah Patel. She's the lead actress in Kumari 21F, which is slated for release on November 20th. So let's see what she has to say about the film and her life in general.
Hi.
Hebah, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Right, so what's going through your mind? November 20th, big day ahead for you.
I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. And I don't know which I am more, whether I'm more nervous or more excited, but I'm both for sure. So yeah, I hope it is well received. I've worked hard on it, so I hope people like what I've done.
Right. So I've heard something very interesting about your audition process. Now, apparently you auditioned for the film, but then you're not called initially, but then once Alayla released, you called back.
No, actually I auditioned for Kumari when I was shooting for Alayla.
Okay.
That time they looked, they didn't like, then they never called me back. Then after Alayla released, I was promoting. Sukumar sir saw me in one of the interviews and then they called me back again. And that's when they took the interview and they finally selected.
So what was the audition process like? What were you
They gave me a scene. They asked me to do the scene in my way, in whichever language I was comfortable in. I think they just wanted to see whether I could be the character. They were not concerned about the language so much, as much as they were whether the body language, the character that fits in. So they did that, and actually that was a fun scene. So I did it pretty well because it was
what was it about? Like
you'll see it in the movie. If I tell everything, it was a scene from the movie.
Okay.
So it was a fun scene. So I enjoyed doing that, and then they liked it, and then that's how I got the film.
Right. I heard that there were a lot of workshops that you had to go through before you started shooting actually.
Because see, otherwise what happens is because I don't know the language, then I waste a lot of time on set trying to learn the language and then getting it, and and because there are big technicians involved, you can't waste too much time. So what happens is they train me in the dialogues and in the expressions, and because Pratap sir has this thing that he will not just give you the dialogues, he will choreograph the entire scene. He will tell you what you're supposed to do with your hands, what you're supposed to do with your face. So everything he taught. So it was very, I had to just go and do. I had to just keep in mind the camera angles. So it's sounding very easy right now, but it wasn't so easy.
Right. So I saw your first film, Alayla. Very interesting plot, and I really liked the film also. Did that film do you any good?
It got me Kumari, so I'm going to assume it did.
But that you got the film before the film release, right?
See, it was my first film. I'm very proud of it. I have no regrets.
Okay.
And that movie also did well. So ultimately, I think it always counts whether the movie does well or no. Whether you are accepted or no is secondary. I think the primary thing is whether the movie does well or no. Right. So I'm very happy that the movie did well. People liked it. That's
about it. Like no other big takeaways from the film.
I had a great, I met Rahul, I met Venla Kishore, I had great fun working with them. They were such fabulous people to work with. So with every movie you take something. So it was a good experience. It was my first film. It was a learning experience. I needed to improve a lot. Right. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have struggled and improved, and I hope people see that improvement.
Right. So this film, Kumari 21F, has a lot of big names. Devi Sri Prasad, and you're working very closely with Ratnavelu Garu because he's always on the set.
He's
right? So was it intimidating at least
initially? It was very, because the previous film that he shot was for Rajinikanth, and straight from Rajinikanth to Hebah Patel, that was a very drastic drop, I felt. Sorry.
Did you tell Ratnavelu Garu about that?
I told her, sir, after Rajinikanth, you're working with Hebah Patel. How are you feeling about yourself? But I have to give him full marks that he made me feel like the most important person in the world. He made me feel like the most beautiful person in the world. And every time I would go and see initially I was very I want to see the monitor, how my take is, how I looking. After that I stopped bothering because I knew he was doing it. So I was like, yeah, I don't have to worry so much.
Right. I don't know if you have been told this, but you look very unconventional for a lead actress. You don't really fit into those stereotypes of whatever, the hot girl, the Bombay model archetype that we call it. And pardon me for this, but I just happened to overhear your conversation where you told your friend that people couldn't recognize you even though you were
That was my director.
People couldn't recognize you when you were standing next to your poster. That actually is a big compliment, I suppose, because you look so different on screen. Right?
I don't know, let's just see the bright side of everything.
Does it happen a lot? Like you don't get recognized?
See, so many posters are not there of me in the first place. It's only now that there are posters. In Alayla, they didn't even use my posters. So yeah, I don't know if I look better, like if my screen presence is good, why not? I want to be an actress. Screen presence counts more.
But you look very different on screen.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing? First tell me that. Are you trying to say that my screen presence is different and she's completely different?
Of course, man. That's the whole point, right? So that's a big compliment on how the film has been shot or how you have been shown on screen, right?
I'm going to take it as a very nice backhanded compliment.
I didn't mean it that way,
But yeah, love, see, ultimately I want to be an actress. I am doing what I want to do, and people care more about how you look on camera than in person. I anyways live in Bombay, so I don't care.
Have you always been like that, very chilled out, laid back?
Yeah, but now I'm trying to not be so chilled out and laid back, but it's going to take a while.
Okay, so I mean, what's the big difference now that you're facing?
As in what context?
No, you're saying that you're trying to be not chilled out now. So what has changed?
Not in a way that I want to suddenly become very serious and very proper.
Oh, okay.
But I am very talkative and I have a lot of hand gestures. I need to control that, so I'm working on that.
Is it like because you're an actress now, or people judge you because you're so expressive all the time?
I think a bit of both, because earlier I was just around my friends, so they never minded, or they just made fun and ignored it. But now when you're under public scrutiny, everything you do is watched very closely, so I have to be a little more composed, I feel.